run
Pull the chamber out, honestly.
Yeah, it does take a little wind out of my sails kind of coming into this. I'd love to have seen that impact continue forward. However, it's the third and final map. We look what's in front of us, which will be Guild on the attacking side. And of course, that then means FPX on the defensive side. And this is do or die. It's elimination time for one of these two teams. And after that last map, a lot of us rekindling that faith in Guild here. And FPX got us worried.
Definitely coming into this one, licking their wounds. Need a couple of confident rounds here early on the defensive side. Lots of emphasis towards showers here. Ardis in tandem here with Sugetsu. The early probe from Guild. Now Ardis wants to try and get behind it, but Russ actually finding that one and actually following through. Coldamenta with the frenzy onto Sugetsu. Initially progressed towards A here. It's actually going to draw the rotation as Shao. So Angel going to have his hands full here.
This is all on Angel. I mean, yeah, Shao's so far away, so committed towards that A site. Angel needs 2 at least. All that utility coming in. You can see Shao now making a mad dash for it, but Angel gets left to his own devices here. Hopefully accounted for if you are considering Guild's approach to this. Where is that spike off to? Yeah, they're very aware of this. Okay, trying to take the fight towards the backside of CT. Shao's won the first, needs more though. This has to be some really steep success for FPX, and I feel like Guild are fumbling a little here. They've opened up a chance. 10 seconds, they can't fumble this now. Coldamenta on the drive-by, and Angel makes his appearance. Safe turns it to try and get that spike planted, which he has done, but it is a 2v2.
Overcooking this initially, actually some key damage coming through. Angel will find Coldamenta up on top here, say 51 HP. Tries to find it, but Angel is third on the round, will close things out, and maybe overthinking things just a little bit from Guild. 20 seconds left, and they're with Spike pushing through to elbow. Shao punishes it initially. At that point, with Angel holding on to control inside Hooker, and Guild, rightfully so. I mean, the awareness is there. They didn't want to push in, but ultimately, it's their demise.
It felt like after those first 2 picks coming in, denying all of that progress that was coming through by Shower from Ardis and so on, that looked teed up perfectly for Guild, but you're right, maybe overcooking it, overthinking it, just didn't look good for me in that regard. So we have to now kind of maybe pick up a little bit of that pace from that last map for Guild. They need to kind of rekindle and kind of come back in a way that's confident, not overcooking the pot, not overthinking things. Get back to plan, because FPX will take every opportunity you give them. They will not look a gift like that and turn it down. They absolutely know what they've been presented with here. A solid chance.
Trek's going to get something done here with the shorty early on, but initially forced away, so really got the range to be able to put that to use. This Guild will pivot back towards A site. Looking for a ton of damage here. Brilliant agility investment, but Ardis actually finding 2 kills with the fragments. Sugetsu follows up with the snake bite as well.
Lovely.
Close this one right down.
Utility reigning supreme this round, it feels like, but good work there, not being overwhelmed by the amount of pressure that's coming through towards Lamson. That was a lot of potential danger coming their way, but no. Nullified, navigated, and we go into pretty much what is this? It's actually a pretty dangerous round for FPX. They've got a lot of rifles coming out here. 2 rifles, one with Angel, Sugetsu, Guardian in play. I want to see if they've got something in mind here.
There's the purchase behind it as well. Looking pretty comfortable here for FPX. No early ultimate progress here. Angel won off the orbital strike. Nothing notable here for FPX, but early information garnered on the back of Shao. Angel looking to contest. This B long control. See that snake bite set up from short from Russ, but a little off. And he's actually picked off on the back of it. So you get to actually finding him pretty early on in this.
FPX. Some opportunities presenting that I really didn't expect here. Russ going down so early on is a bit of an issue, but the rotations come in, and actually it's given Guild at least a 4v2 towards his site.
Nice.
Make it a 3v2 is already damage now done. I don't know if Zipan got noted on this one. A little bit of spam to give him the illusion that maybe no one's here, but again, Coldamenta is still curious. Looking towards the side itself, but they've had no success towards the side just yet. So many targets for Trex. Has to back away.
Find anything ahead of that smoke here, and things will begin to slow down here for Guild. they find themselves in a 3v5, 30 seconds left, almost looking as if the save pretty likely
30 seconds left.
FPX will convert the bonus, which is a massive boom. Actually, you consider it with what they're potentially saving across here, even just the 3 rifles to bring into the next round for Guild. Try and get something done. Hate to say it, but almost a round where, you know, Safe's got a headhunter to work with.
Could have been
Something
different.
like that could offset just a little bit here, but I have to see will not Russ and Safe even have the ability.
There's that free rifle. And actually take down Trex.
And that makes it even more difficult now.
Yes, it
Because
certainly does.
you're faced with the dilemma of forcing up around these rifles, and it's going to be SMGs at best. Goldmenta left with 650, Leo with 350 behind this. Actually offsets them in terms of what the next few purchases could look like.
Oh, this certainly puts them in a downward spiral, doesn't it? And Guild are already in a bad spot if you're thinking about it that way.
Well,
Not a good start.
Massive advantage for FPX in terms of this first ult cycle as well.
Oh, for sure. Absolutely.
They're riding this across with even light shields here once again. They want to set themselves up for a very, very comfortable financial position going forwards.
And Guild need a bit of a miracle, something to bail them out of this scenario that's starting to be presented. Zipan almost got caught on the timing there, but does get to keep his life and peel away.
So gets to at least early on in this map here, acting as a deterrent towards this default from Guild. Dealing with Russ previously. And can't really criticize him for the way that he fell, but 3 members stacked up behind this now for Guild. So Getsu almost has the advantage here in terms of the toxin. He's got another freebie.
That's a shocker.
Great pressure here created, but Trex actually answers back.
Okay, now there's a window of chance for them to maybe get towards the site itself. Ult comes in, doesn't really find as much, but it's actually Trex to punish Angel on this. Artist now could be overwhelmed, but no, Artist holds strong. Flash comes out and Trex trades it, and the damage gets pushed towards Xiao, actually pushed down very low, 9 HP. They need the spike planted, and they need Coldamentum to be a safe pair of hands, and he's not. Let's just slip between his fingertips. Trex needs to run and get the hell out of there.
Just have the showstopper to work with. Both members of FPX stacked up towards spawn here. Trex does prioritize the plant.
Does he get away without taking damage? No, he doesn't, Zipan. He was forced out into the open, and FPX are manipulating every aspect of this game right now, and Guild cannot get on the board.
And this is around the Guild actually get more done than you're expecting here in terms of that final rifle being removed. Only 2 brought across into this. Certainly made it interesting. FPX weather the storm. So yeah, I mean, initially that offset from the purchase not going to be too much of a problem. Coldamentus at 3,800, but another first blood found by Sugetsu. And another freebie, actually. Artist has done so well.
To get 2 out of that.
Absolutely.
Wow. Balancing the books a little in that round, because I really thought that was looking so dangerous to Guild after that nice little pickup that they got and sprung forward. Now, timeout comes in for Guild, and I feel like rightly so. They need to get a grip on this game because it is falling away from them in some quite bizarre ways. The amount of just freebies Sugetsu's getting through smokes and utility. But again, the value's there. And a couple of fumbles, a couple of over the things. Guild still inexperienced, right? Like, they're still a team that's relatively new to this. This is still one of their first debuts. We're starting to see the deeper teams within EMEA, right? This is arguably what everyone was saying was the most competitive showing from the region. And I think that's a fair assessment. FPX and Guild certainly fall within that. But again, they're still new to these stages. And a couple of those mistakes starting to show.
You come into this with Trex on the showstopper. An opportunity here to switch things up because it's been that expected slow approach here from Guild on their attacking half. As you see, when FPX actually decide to go exploring a little bit, you're seeing Artist now actually considering the possibility of the operator. I think he's going to settle for the Vandal here. Toying with the idea at least. The Viper's pick going to go up towards Hookah. Getsu will be noted, but I mean, they have to effectively shift walk through this Viper's pit, soak up all that decay to even challenge him. And Russ with that supportive utility all the way from Market. They'll force something out, but they don't really gain anything on the back of that. Maybe just to try and force Angel out of position, but no notable damage done.
Best utility potentially to try and isolate anyone who would have taken up the mantle of where Sugetsu would have been, but we know where they are, sitting a little bit deeper towards the backside of sight. Drex gonna take those first brave steps forward. Doesn't quite see anyone just yet. There's only enough audio cues to let you know there's someone just around that corner, and Zipan's been laying in wait. It's Rust to fall first, but that might be the spike thing going down. No, still held them off long enough. Shao proving to be an issue as well. There's the push out though. Zipan taking matters into his own hands.
That's perfect.
Pain Shell comes in. Leo's in danger. The spam! He doesn't get to keep his life. Leo goes down for it. Shao the second line to it. As Coldham enter in the 1v4. This is a shutdown and a half from
30
FPX.
seconds left.
Cole now faced with a 1v4. Or just to try and hold on to this, 20 seconds left. At this point, damage doesn't even matter. Guild losing out in probably the most important round so far. Going to put them massively behind now. And this is the one that FPX
left.
invested into in terms of the ultimates. Angel going to come forward, try and cycle some of this back. The round's all but done. Can come through and try and hunt this at least, but we have a massive knock-on effect here. Guild really struggling to get anything going. FPX looking solid in terms of some of these holds. A couple of weird overextensions. Russ, I mean, drifting solo towards here. Trex completely unaware of the possibility some of these could re-aggress back out of lamps. Leo just caught with a tag, actually slows him down, getting away from that paint shell. Wow, what a contrast. You would have thought Guild would have come into this with a real swagger in their step, considering their map 2 performance. It's just not a lot there.
It sounds silly, but I still feel those first couple of rounds were so telling of potentially what could have gone wrong, and a window of chance made here for FPX for the pace change coming in. Trek's going to try and maybe pick the pace up a little here, but it is only a stinger, so again, how much can you get done with that thing? Well, Coldham meant to show what you can get done with that. Angel gets to go down. First time they've really had a clean entry. You have the Seekers coming through as well. Artist still tucked on the side. Not like he's unnoted, but he's still going to get away with one. Trek's fallen and Leo there to overwhelm was safe. Even just shout. No, he's been over towards that A site. So Spike should be going down uncontested here.
Fine.
Go for maybe a little bit of damage. I mean, a couple of these players did force up. Obviously, a couple more trying to save some of these credits across. I think Shao's really going to entertain it, but finally, I mean, it feels like brute force and ignorance that Guild are rewarded with this round, and maybe a slight overstep. FPX happy to stand a little closer with how slow Guild have been playing, so the pace change catches them off guard. Colomentor actually follows up perfectly on the Trailblazer to find the 2. This isn't one that Guild necessarily come away from and go, yeah, okay, that's what we're going to do, guys. It's not really possible to replicate this time and time again.
But it gives them at least a little bit of room to work, because they have been shut down so categorically in these rounds. Fumbly sort of mistakes being made. Let's see if anyone pulls. Shao. Probably not anywhere near anyone at this point. They've all fallen back. So one recovered from Guild. And it's off the back of this. Let's have a little look at this one. Pretty free for Coldamenta there.
Actually, the reveal coming through at the perfect time from Leo. But yeah, numerically, it's not looking. I mean, Leo sitting at the bottom of the scoreboard for Guild is something you very rarely see. Russ able to get much going here after, actually, credit to him, had a fantastic performance on Breeze individually. At least mechanically, there's been some of the concerns raised around him. He looked very sharp on map 2. Obviously playing a very different role this time around on the Viper. And immediately, like I said, it's around the Guild resort back to this very, very slow approach in the default.
It's not filling me with confidence, if I'm honest.
This is so little pressure here at the start of the round that...
Yep.
And FPX are the ones to really benefit on the back of this slower gameplay, I feel.
Oh, FPX love it. Kings of the clock, right? They'll run this down anytime you can. Sometimes we'll say Na'Vi style round. I don't think they're going to be upset by it. Happy to be patient. Rodamenta's starting to lose a little bit of that cool though. Once in, wants to get the job going. 50 seconds on the board. They've built up a little bit of a portfolio towards this B site now. Do they have much more to work with? Divide goes in. Shao.
It's a counter with the ultimate.
And there it is. Right back through this. has a full idea as to what's going on to an extent. Zipan, though, does not expect that. Safe winning on the other side. That's going to be an untradeable kill here. A 5v4. And they are waiting to burst through on this potential. I want to see what Xiao does with this. He's having to play patient, actually. They've invested everything into it. And on the drop, they all make their debut. Artis finds 2 kills. It ain't over yet. It's still a 3v3, and the plant's still not in. Leo said to try and hold this safe. And Sugetsu and Angel
Spike planted.
still trying to work their way around any vulnerabilities to be found here. Angel's found one, and it's the one to be found. Oh, and the turn! Angel fumbles it on the knife out, but it's Sugetsu up against safe. And there's the peak. Sugetsu's there, and Guild invested everything they could into that. And they walk away with nothing.
So it's just another round that Guild aren't able to say, right, guys, that's the approach for the next few. Get themselves into a round-winning position, especially with the Viper's Pip. But Ardis goes huge to find 2. Angel able to slip the net on the back of Ardis, creating that pressure. This is initially here. I mean, the blind spray in. And this is what Angel's able to do on the back of it. Once the Viper's Pit falls, Angel actually finds a beautiful second kill. Like you said, caught off guard here with the knife, but that's a heartbreaking round to lose.
Yeah.
Especially when they're walking a tightrope in terms of the economy. Yes, they string together this purchase, but again, coming into round 9, it's not going to be pretty if FPX find their 7th here.
It's in my mind, genuinely, it's now or never. If Guild can't wake up in these next moments, this is FPX's. And for FPX to show this resilience after an absolute slap around in map 2, it's credit to them. Zipan, again, up for the fight. 2 on the other side.
Well, the showstopper to slow this down, though. If Trex or Leo decide to try and force the issue.
Okay.
Yeah, they're so cautious to follow through on some of this utility. It's only Zipan holding them back right now. Smoke goes up, and who could control firmly back in the hands of Zipan.
Where's the bravado of map 2? Where's the confidence? Where's those individuals powering forward for Guild? That's not bad for us. Does he expect the trade? No, Ardis is there. Instantly nullified, and they still have 2 players on this A site. So they're heading on over here. They're doing everything to try and draw that attention. Actually, good timing for Safe. Catching Shout. Angel though going to try and buy time. Does do well. He's to isolate 1. Trex to find Ardis, and Angel overwhelmed. Suddenly, it's not looking so bad, but Zipan a mile away. A 1v3. This is surely 2 for Guild.
Spike planted.
Yeah, retreats to pick up the flank control here, and very, very deep post-plant positions. Zipan down to 72 HP. Does have the showstopper, 1 kill, will have another paint shell. He's here in plenty of time, but you can see here the gravity well already set up. He's got to make a move fast.
No one giving him early fights. As you highlighted, sitting super deep. Maybe first contact would be Leo on this potentially if he commits around the corner, or again, Trex could be the one. And Zipan's getting nothing. This is good. This is a good post plan from Guild. They need, in my mind, 3 alive and the round itself. Zipan, yep, cuts the losses, looks for a way out here. Not going to happen, but again, for Guild, a necessary round, a critical round, and I still feel it has to be clean from now on, Mike.
Yeah, critical. I mean, FPX is still on 6. Let's not take anything away from that, but this was the round that was going to put Guild in a complete stranglehold in terms of the economy. Trex done well to find the first attitude, the paint shell sent forwards, and another interesting use of the orbital strike here. Very, very ahead of this hit, and pretty deep towards short from Angel. FPX will call a timeout here, maybe just to take a breather. Majority of these rounds not really breaking a sweat, to be honest with you.
And they still have a timeout in the second half if they need it. Why not call it now, right? Try and take that momentum away from Guild, try and come up with maybe figuring out if there's anything that they found could be exploited. I think for now, though, when we talk about repeatable success, we haven't seen a lot of that from Guild yet, and it's still quite hot and cold as to if they can keep doing this or what they found themselves here.
There's going to be any switch up on the side of FPX on the back of this. They're almost waiting for it. There's space there that Guild are conceding. Like I said, they're happy to sit in this very deep forest. Very static position that they're picking up. And like I said, on the back of the snakebite investment, it's very rare there's anybody actually following through on that. And the one time it has been Coldamenta, which is the one that, particularly on the Astro, we know what his role is going to be. It's the backline, it's the chess master.
Tense moment now. What's some money like and ult's like? Okay, so Leo's got his, Safe's got his ult. money's enough to fashion a buy. And, well, FPX aren't out of cash yet. They're still sitting enough there to bring up something this round. You kept saying it, Zipan's still got that artist there as well. They've got options. Curious what comes out now for Guild. They need to string a couple together here because FPX have carved away a good lead. This is very, very solid for them. And oh, the double swing. That's the difference. Maybe figuring out Sugetsu has been consistently in that spot, consistently a problem. And instantly Zipan ready to fill the gap.
Just so hesitant to push on the back of this first blood.
Where's the take?
Yeah, where's the second leg to this? They're now hoping that they're going to have a favourable timing here and drawn a rotation enough, but Coldamenta with no progress towards B long. Xiao and Arda still tucked up here. Now the snake bite comes through. They force Xiao back a little bit, but no follow-up.
You're right. Not making the most of that first pick. Trex though going to unleash, heads on in, spots one, but he's flashed! Oh, it's a mistake, it's a fumble! FPX holding onto this with both hands! And again, you said it before, and it's becoming so apparent. Guild letting this one slip.
I mean, they find a massive opportunity here, but it's just they're playing so cautiously. They're so terrified of what sits behind this first blood. Like I said, it's not a guarantee that they find a site access there,
No.
but it's just, you can see this fumbling, scrambling for a decision to be made. Like I said, they don't benefit the timing here on the rotation whatsoever. With no pressure on towards B long, especially nobody following up on that snake bite, it just forces Xiao into a position to reset. And then they win out. They pick them off one by one.
I don't know what's happened to Guild. Where is the team that we just saw on Breeze? Where have they gone, and who is this taking their place, who look sheepish and second-guessing everything they do? I don't like it at all. Now the money's been broken, they're back down to nothing. Sheriff's odds and ends, and you didn't have to make this comfortable for FPX. That's the thing. FPX will try and do that themselves anyway, but I feel like they've had a very comfortable run this time in comparison to what it could be. And again, Guild look for option, look for starting. Looks like A will be where they try and bring something towards this time.
Poison orb emitting.
So we're seeing some focus towards showers here. Sugetsu spots one. Will likely back away here. Allow this hit to come through. And Trex is safe for so low HP that can't really force their way up short here.
Go get it.
Time to stabilize Guild, need to burst onto this. Sugetsu making light work of safe. They backed away again. Doubling down, might catch.
30
I wonder if
seconds
they
left.
catch a bit of timing. Trex.
Angel's going to line him up here.
It's not pretty, but you're absolutely right. Oh, there it is. Absolutely lines him up, knocks him down. 1 HP is all he needed left over. And this is a very underwhelming final map.
It really is. Guild coming to round 11 with, I mean, they can't even really be frugal in this purchase.
No.
Obviously,
Don't have that luxury anymore.
we know exactly what's going to happen for the final purchase, but yeah, I mean, there's light shields, there's a bulldog in the hands of Safe. Trex will have the showstopper, at least regardless of outcome here for the final round. Leo's still sitting on that ultimate, but still sitting at the bottom of the board. Unable to really have any individual impact.
Which is so rare.
It is.
And now FPX getting a little invested. Artist going walkabouts. Actually gets handled this time. Safe though turns a flash and he gets back to business. Angel forced to invest the smoke and try and stop the hemorrhage that could have been forming. Molly goes down as well. Angel needs to be careful here.
Noted, but Zipan actually with the TP crunch going to find Russ. Angel still standing, but not for long. Safe deals with him. Trex on the crossover. Xiao still good for it.
And it feels so segmented, one by one. There's no compounding pressure. Zipan and Sugetsu, what can you do with it? Let's see, Safe and Coldamenta over towards long. TP gets taken. Safe not too far behind. You can see who's on the run here.
Got it blocking vision.
Zipan running as fast he can to become relevant to the outcome of this round. It's going to be a fight between him and Safe seems very aware of the chance of this. Who gets the peek first? Who gets the shot? It's Zipan! Safe's going to be kicking himself for it. And now Coldamenta, the in-game leader of the squad.
One enemy remaining.
And not too bad on the mechanics either. Sugetsu, why not? Invests the ult, makes it harder work. Draws out the utility. Has to force the hand of Coldamenta.
Sugetsu drops the ult immediately. Tries to bait it out. Yeah, Kolementa finds the second though. The Red Bull clutch to find Guild's third.
And I've got to say, Kolementa feels like the only one for me who's actually delivering. That first, I think it was one of the first rounds, that double that he got actually opened up space. This as well. We need others. Where are the rest of the squad? Some critical kills for the man, some key kills. Where is the rest of Guild? Now again, if it ends, what, one more round? I mean, sure, it's not completely unredeemable, but it's the fashion in which we got here, Mike.
So expecting Trex to finally make use of this showstopper now. A judge in hand. Cosmic Divide up. Then do scrape together a purchase, but again, it's a Bulldog in there. A couple of light shields. You'll feel as if they found some success towards 8. And stacked up this time, invested in the early round.
Sugetsu gets a play on it. Overwhelmed, Kolementa cracks open the site, and there is that ult. Didn't get to send it out in the end. Artist gets to keep his life. Flash comes in, he's going to have to sit tucked towards the back of it. Safe going to take the fight towards CT and wins it. Good work from Safe this round. But it is still 2 standing, Zipan and Xiao. But bear in mind how far away Zipan is to this. Spike not down yet. Giving room and time for Zipan to close this gap.
Still a million miles away from this. Xiao can just do a little chip damage, maybe prevent the spike from going down. Definitely still doable here in the 2v3. Guild huddled together.
Toxins going up.
Waiting for that cooldown on the Toxin to try and find the plant behind this. Actually, they don't. There's almost anticipating a peak coming through.
Well, careful what you wish for. Zipan's getting real close.
Good utility as well.
And that's a fight. That's a clean fight, and now it's a 2v2. Again, I'm a little worried about Guild and his post-plant. His options for Zipan, and his destruction for Guild.
Oh my god.
Zipan has torn him limb from limb. That is just going to destroy Guild's mental.
I mean, it was a 2v3, but Zipan literally 1v3s them. Just one by one lining them up. So well played by him. Great use of the Satch as well, just to make that last engagement a little bit more difficult and favorable for him. Beautiful stuff from Zipan.
One enemy remaining.
See it there. Last one just nudges Russ a little further back. It'll be 9-3 on the half, Lauren.
Barbar knows he's got his work cut out now if he wants to try and bring this back. As do the rest of Guild. This has been a very rough half for them. It has not looked good. It's not over, but it might be soon. Back to the desk.
Oh, Lauren, you know better than that. It's you and Hypok. It's never going to be over. But you guys wanted to see the teams come alive. You wanted to see Zipan go kill. There's a lot of individual hero plays there. It was quite exciting. Again, if you're an FPX fan this time around.
Yeah, I think a lot of it came down to, firstly, a little bit more aggression out of the likes of Zipan, like taking some fights that maybe he shouldn't have done and actually winning them, Saigetsu as well. But I also think there were some misplays coming through. Like at one of the rounds where Trex, he goes blast backing into the site, Flash catches him in the face, it just gets insta-killed. And it's like, these are the sort of misses in terms of synergy that Guild just didn't have in the last map.
Yeah, and I mean, it was Zipan go kill, but it was very much on the other side. Go kill individually. So much miscoordinated moments that we saw out from the side of Guild. However, for FPX, they were taking advantage, and Artist was one of the people to do so, playing on this KO roll. I was a big fan of the way he was setting things up. The flashes, it was very well timed. Every time there was an execute coming out from Guild, he was there to deny, to shut on down, and there was a few rounds we wanted to take a look at here around these retakes for FPX. This one isn't really even a retake because Spike never comes down. Guild was all right in the early run at getting space in towards sites, but FPX, as they so often are excellent at giving space and fighting back in with their double initiators.
Ridiculous. It's just spraying through the Viper's Pit in a round that just almost didn't look possible for them to win with the Viper's Pit down in the afterplant, but somehow they bring it back.
Yeah, I mean, just some magical moments. Even that final round before we came into the halftime break was miraculous that FPX managed to win things out. It feels like Guild, again, just so many of these moments where people are swinging individually, little mistakes just compounding on top of each other. And again, my worry is, similar to what we saw after map number 2, that do they even have what it takes to fight back into this one? Because you have to feel pretty deflated after some of those rounds lost.
Well, I think the main thing to focus on is what Hypok said. I feel like at the moment, Guild are looking a little indecisive. They need someone like Barber or Kolementa to bring them back together, because if they play like that in the next half, they're out.
yeah, it's going to have to be a hell of a speech, a hell of a rally for them to make things through.
Yeah, this is them, Guild, staring down the barrel of elimination, and also a champion spot on the line too. Pansy and Hypok, they have to dig deeper to bounce back here.
You're right, they do have to dig deep. Now, this is a tough task for Guild, and it actually might be out of the realms of possibility. However, what this is for FPX, though, is the first look at the full squad making it out and looking pretty diligent, turning it around after a disastrous map, too. They've looked strong here, but Mike, we go back in. Surely it has to start now for Guild if you want to see a close game.
He's going to find two. Angel finds the open here. The pinch through the TP, safe. Good for the first, but tagged down to 34 HP. FPX happy now to progress through. Actually, let's take the TP here. Try and find some advantageous timing. Russ actually stands his ground, but Artist trades it out.
Okay, and the spike's on the way, but Caldementha's been here the entire time, tucked towards long, trying to give away nothing. Rotation from Leo as well. He needs to become a little activated here, Leo, in my mind. Caldementa, does he get the timing just right? No, outdone by Zipan. Beautiful work. Another site looks available. Leo gets the tag, but not the frag. Artist makes it towards the site. Swing! It's great timing, but left in the open. Left in the lurch, though, is safe in a 1v2. So gets to full HP, sitting pretty. Yeah, Artist a little vulnerable, but that crossfire now set in motion.
Artist is just going to tuck himself in, looking to take contact on the drop here. Safe going to try and make use of that first flash, jumps out, but it's actually Artist to even find it. FPX close the pistol round, close their 10th. If they weren't already feeling it, Guild now under massive amounts of pressure to deliver.
Pressure's on, Guild. Gotta do something about this. If it gets... It feels like 11's inevitable, right? Like, you get this one, the follow-up's looking super likely. We know that FPX don't go lightly into these rounds either. They're starting to have fun. Picking up that pistol takes so much weight off of even FPX. They're like, cool, right, now we're in the right mood here. We're getting everything right.
Which is why we see Guild try and just be decisive there. They try to be the initiators in that round with that TP crunch, but again, it comes back to that thing, the synergy just slightly off in terms of the pinch. Trex over-investing in that peak, and I mean, whether or not it's safe behind the pace or Trex a little ahead of it. Come around, FPX now can and slowly work their way in. The paint shell gonna force the shorty a little deeper inside, and actually Zipan still finds it.
Really nice from Zipan. Getting to see that capability from him as an individual this game. Artist as well, all kicking off at the right time for themselves. Caldementa, yeah, gonna get one. That is the rifle in a bad spot here, but dealt with by the nade. It's 11 and it's quick so far.
Oh, can they make a last stand here? Guild obviously coming to this buy round here. No real ultimate progress for anybody. And we'll call a timeout here because, I mean, this is the map and series.
Yep. With
what the knock-on effect's going to be. A long way back into this map. Like I said, there's been so few positives to take away from that attack in half as well that, I mean, coordinating any sort of proactivity here on the defense, it kind of lies into the same sort of concerns that we had.
It'd almost be a shame to see them go out as a shadow of their former selves, it looks like. Coaches got their work cut out on either side to an extent. Barbar had to kind of get their mental back in the right place. And for the Guild side, it's... Excuse me, for the FPX side, it's not that difficult right now. Just going to keep them focused, going through the motions here. They've done everything right. The prep is good. I was worried after map 2 that they'd be taking it personally or, you know, being a little frustrated, but no, they were kept in the right direction.
That's where someone like Angel is just such a cornerstone for the team to come through. Again, even with an abysmal performance in map 2, he's a very grounding factor in terms of the communication, that in-game leadership. Was it to complement Doom Bros? It's paying off for them here.
Oh, yeah.
To flip back here in map 3.
In this
the way
fashion
they have.
as well.
Yeah, exactly. It's the nature of how they're winning here on Bind.
And if it was the
total composure.
That's the thing. And I wouldn't have been surprised if FPX were the sheepish one after map 2. Hard to maybe pick up that confidence, but it's not. It's the complete reverse. So we go in now, and this is one of the rounds that can define so much. It's 11-3. If Guild get this, it's game back on. If not, it's looking pretty done However, we start, as we need to go on Angel, a little further
Oh,
ahead than
command.
expected as well. And they're just running through this one. Safe's gonna find Artis, can at least deny that front line. Angel with a quick trade and a flying player, Zipan, makes it towards the site. It's called a Menta, who's still finding room to work. 1 HP, and Zipan's there. Needs to bring out, and he does! Oh, Zipan!
What is
Phenomenal!
that?
Phenomenal!
Hits him with the Spectre cheese, the drive-by. That's how Guild lose out in this round. And the cherry on top, the jumping classic. Of
Run
the
it,
Cold
run it
Dementor,
again.
I think down to just 1 HP.
Yeah.
What is this?
That's heartbreak slowed down right there. That is the round done, and he knows it. He knows it. It's 12-3, and this is tournament life, Mike. This is the one. This is all it comes down to. This is all that hard work leads up to. One more round.
Jack's got himself tucked up. Playing very close contact with this judge, FPX. Now the wind in their sails. Anticipating a little bit of aggression early on here. It's a 4-man stack for Guild towards A site. Safe. We're on information gathering duties outside hookah. Shao will deal the Trailblazer. We'll actually pull a rotation here from Leo. Rightfully so, but FPX have done the hard work here. They've actually got themselves an advantageous fight towards A. It looks like Guild might even
Trying to
push
push
through
this.
here.
So dangerous, so precarious. Zipan sees one. He's got to feel like there's maybe more. He
It is-
have no
it is
stay. Oh, Trex brings it back down to earth, but he needs more than this. This is so dangerous, so scary for him right now. This is nerves aplenty, rising to the challenge, but the trades come out. Russ backs him up in it, and now Artis tries to make a run. A lifeline found, and it's only one in a need of so many.
See what the knock-on effect here, FPX. Actually, a couple of people forcing up. Yes, the ultimates are just about getting there, but with Showstopper used up in the previous by Zipan, he's so unlucky not to find Trex here behind the box. But Russ plays it perfectly on the timing. Rewarded with 2 kills, but yeah, you can see it's a little flat
Feels like
in terms of the spirit there up on stage.
You got to get the boys back up in this. I know it feels almost redundant, but it really isn't over till it's over when it comes to these final maps. But it has to. It's a long road. It really is a long road. Cold Dementor doing well though. Catch Angel. Keep your eyes on the rifle with Zipan. First challenge would be Russ. Doesn't quite win that one out, and Russ still gets to hold on for this. Rain shell could have been a problem. Takes a little bit of damage, but keeps his life.
So with vulnerability as well. Artis just digs back in to find the headshot.
Cold Dementor's in no man's land. This makes me a little nervous here. Does get to dip away before the flash really blooms. Trex by his side. Picking up one behind, swing back in. It's messy. And this is a 3v2, and they've got rifles. Mike, I don't like this. Getting fumbly in these moments now. Don't get too worried yet. Safe is en route. The Seeker's kind of, you know,
It gives
helping
away
them
the
out,
flank
but
though, almost.
exactly. Surely you're starting to question that. There's got to be that, you know, little bit of the clock in the back of your mind. Now wondering what's going on. And Artisan to get to are dangerous players. Look how deep Guild are now sitting.
Yeah, they got to respect this. Also, then have to have the secondary consideration, which is the finances. They need to build up that cushion to be able to
30
have a say
seconds
in
left.
this half. Happy to wait out the plant, though.
Can't make mistakes here. And there's a potential for it. So get to clearing sight, spots no one.
Toxin screen down.
And the plant now has to become a priority. 10 seconds, Mike. It's got to be now.
10 seconds left.
Safe to be whether or not he can actually time this perfectly.
That's the question, isn't it, Artis? Ooh, nice little jump peek there from Leo. Gonna at least know the position and not give up his life. Plays in safe a little, but Sugetsu seems aware. And away we go. Oh no! The tragedy! It's falling to pieces! The full 5 at full force. FPX stay alive at a 13-4 scoreline. Guild crumble under the pressure.